But let me talk briefly about snapping things. We heard earlier from Mark how wonderful snaps are, and I'm going to show you, well, what little we've done to bring something new and exciting into your world of snaps. But what is this new and exciting thing? Well, it's Collabora Online, but not as you knew it. Now as a desktop application, no longer tied to your browser, but actually brought to your desktop. It's spreadsheets full of user experience metrics that show you what people do and then what they do next and what they undo. And shouldn't it be colorful and nice? It's a whole lot of slides that are actually on your laptop that actually project when you want them to, with videos that play, and sections so you can shuffle them and sort them. It's attention to pixels and to people. It's UX design, beauty, and what people are doing. It's close-up views of nice easiness and fun for using. And it's moving then from the browser into the desktop. And why? Well, that brings lots of possibilities. Some of them we can use, some of them we can't. Things like projector detection, something your browser really can't do for you very well. Direct clipboard access, so you can actually use the whole power of the X11 clipboard. Well, anyway, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. The web has only just about caught up with, just the very basic level of what should be in a clipboard API in the last year or two. So there you go. Printer access, all these things that are really rather useful in an Office suite. And it helps sort of consolidate our product mix as well too, dragging many things together and relegating to a classic product, the old thing. So how do we snap all of that? Bring it closer to our Ubuntu users. Well, so the first thing is that, of course, we have these nice names, and we want to bring it all in there and get this sort of web app running inside our package. So, and then, of course, there's all sorts of fun sandboxing. So we have these wonderful portals that allow us to do crazy stuff like finding out who the user is, so that when you're doing your change tracking, it shows up as you and not anonymous coward or something, which is good, and your comments can be correctly credited. So lots of nice pieces there on the sandbox boundary. One of the fun things that we discovered, so Collabora Online has this wonderful isolation containment system. So every document lives in its own container. It's ultra secure and really funky. To do that, we fork so that we do copy on write and we share a whole load of stuff. And we really use a whole load of the cool things that Linux can do with containers. To save CPU, to save RAM, and all that sort of stuff. And we do much less of those in the desktop case, primarily because the Mac sandboxing environment doesn't let you fork, which is really lame, isn't it? That's just awful, isn't it? Anyway, or you can ask for special permission from Apple HQ if you want. But anyway, so we put that all into a single process, and we use a Qt web engine. So we try and use the platform web engine so that we avoid the security maintenance problems that come from something like Electron, a new security vulnerability every day to keep you happy. So there's a whole load of code there, 8 million lines. It used to be trendy to have lots of lines of code. In the agentic world, of course, anyone can have 8 million lines of code, but who knows what they do? Ours were written by humans, and are pretty awesome with it. So we have to upgrade our node during compile time in the snap, which is quite exciting. But yeah, there's lots of good fun there, and we can find this all beautifully. So what can we do? I had a couple of problems there, which are interesting. So the first thing is that Chromium has another sandbox inside itself. You notice this nesting thing. Everyone raves about virtualization, and then they confess later that they can't actually nest. And the same is true of container systems. The number of container systems I have to run in that can't actually have a container system inside them is depressing. Anyway, so here we have to turn off the sandboxing in the browser, actually. So never mind. We have one sandbox anyway. Wouldn't it be nice to have 2 or 3? But anyway, maybe later we'll get that fixed. Just getting our dbus slot sorted out, and then bingo, it works, except we need to upload it to Snapcraft, and unfortunately we've just made a very complicated repository that's super old, and it needs a web link to the Snapcraft file. Git web, we're just getting hammered by AI spammers, so getting a link is just really not easy. So we need to host it on GitHub, except you can't because there's 25 years of history in there, and someone didn't set their username 25 years ago. And we don't want to redo all the commits. Anyway, eventually we got all of this fixed, and submitted, and it's beautiful. Look at that. Now, of course, this is the latest Edge thing. It's not perfect. Let me say again, the software is not perfect yet, but play with it. And we just love the channels thing. That is just unbelievably useful. So thank you so much for delivering a great technology.